Hi, it's me, Kylie. It's like 7:30 in the morning and I'm still waking up. I need my coffee. One sec. I have my llama cup today and it's my favorite. So I tried filming this last night, but listen, I'm on like a really heavy medication, and as I was filming, I felt myself like saying, okay, time to go to sleep, and it just makes me really loopy. So it was not fun. Like, I meant everything I said, it just was not verbalizing properly. So I'm gonna try my best today, and I'm still not great with my words. If you live under a rock, you missed some pretty important stuff. So first of all, we had several innocent Black lives taken from us the past week or so, and that's not okay. And my heart aches for everyone who's still facing the oppression and racism within our society, and honestly across the whole world. So I've been doing what I can to help make a positive change. I've been signing petitions, I've been being vocal, I've been trying to educate as many people as I can, which is a lot in Idaho. I recently Googled the Black population of Idaho because I knew it was low, but I didn't know like exactly how low. And I was generous with it, okay? I thought maybe we had like a 10% of Black population. No, it's 0.6%. So with that being said, it's difficult to get everyone to understand around here, but I'm still doing my best. I just want everyone to know that I stand with Black Lives Matter, and you should sign some petitions. If you're able to, you should go to some protests. Look up ways to stay safe during a protest, especially with how out of control some of them are getting around the world. And you should be listening to Black voices. So I'm gonna have some Black creators down in the description box, and I highly encourage you to check them out. I will let you know that just someone who is white, some of what they're saying can be really like a hard pill to swallow, but it's important that we all look at ourselves. And maybe we never intentionally were racist, but it's important to look at ourselves and recognize the subtle things that we keep doing as white individuals against Black individuals, and just reflect on those and try to do better going forward. That's what I'm doing. With that being said, I'm gonna hop into my May wrap up. I had a not great reading month. I did read 2 books that were pretty solid, but after that I wasn't enjoying it too much until June hit, and then I got to read all the gay stuff. So I don't have the books physically, but I have a list on my phone. So I'll start with the first one. I read Miracle Creek by Angie Kim, and I kicked off my series on my channel called Community Review with this book, so I listened intently to it. It wasn't something that I just kind of like listened to and I did other things too. I was really invested in this, and I'm glad that I was. So when I went into this, I didn't think I would like it that much. It didn't seem very up my alley. The premise was very interesting, but it just didn't seem like maybe it would be like a 5-star or anything. And I did give it, I think 4.5 stars. I don't quite remember, but it was pretty high up there. And this book follows the Yu family. They immigrate to a small town in Virginia. In the book, it's a fictional town called Miracle Creek. But they immigrate from Korea to America, and they are really, it follows different perspectives, but as far as they go, it's following them adjusting to life in America and dealing with all this prejudice towards them as like an outsider, so to speak. And then they invest in this hyperbaric oxygen chamber, which they have called the Miracle Submarine because it looks like a submarine. And what it does is it provides oxygen therapy to individuals, particularly children, like children with autism or cerebral palsy. It can even help with male infertility. We have a character who's struggling with that. We end up seeing the book literally opens with it exploding and a boy with autism dies, and a mother of one of the other children dies, and several of them are severely injured as well. So this book follows, after that happens, it goes to the trial that takes place because Elizabeth Ward, one of the mothers, is being tried for starting the explosion or the fire. And we find out everything that happened through the trials in the courtroom, as well as the behind the scenes after everyone's not in court. We kind of flash back to before or after the court session, or like back in time to around the time that this originally took place. It's very intense. There's a lot of heavy conversations like about racism, specifically towards Korean individuals, and how they're feeling, coping with living in America, and how they don't feel at place because they have a language barrier or an accent, different things like that. It also talks heavily on motherhood. We see a lot of conversation about what it's like to be a mother to a child with special needs, and not all of it is very positive, but I think that is the harsh reality. We also see perspectives of mothers who don't necessarily have children with special needs. And as a mother, it spoke to me so deeply, and it kind of gave me the okay to say, you know, sometimes I am not thinking the most positive things, but it told me that I am not a bad mom just because I have a human thought. And I think really this book needs to be read by everyone. So if I didn't give it 5 stars, I might honestly go back and give it 5 stars. It was amazing. It was so worth it. And if you'd like to see some other creators' reviews on that, I did make a community review that features a few different booktubers' opinions on there. I'll leave it in the cards up here, or up here, I don't know. But I'll leave it there and you can go check that out. And then I read Dry by Neal Shusterman, and oh boy, this one was intense, like so intense. I was like on the edge of my seat the entire time I was reading it. So this follows a drought that is becoming pretty serious, and the government ends up turning off all of the taps, and people don't have access to water anymore. So that's how we open the book. The taps have gone out. They call it the tap out. And then people start to panic, buy groceries, or like specifically like water, like bottled water. And just slowly, as people are trying to get through this, they start to kind of just become more out of control, and like all anarchy breaks out. And one day our main character's parents don't come home, so they go and try to find them, her and her little brother, and they get caught up in all of this chaos, and it's just wild. If you've read Scythe, wild in the way that Scythe was wild is wild the way that Dry is wild. It's intense, but it was a 5-star read. I highly caution you, if you're going to pick this one up now, if you're at all sensitive about the pandemic that's happening, I would maybe hold off until it's kind of like a point in history, and we aren't dealing with it. It's very, very intense, but I do, whenever you're ready for it, I 10 out of 10 recommend it. So the next thing I read, I really just needed something fluffy and to like fill fill the voids that were in me. And that is going to be, I read Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. And this is exactly what it is. I didn't have very many opinions on this. I gave it a solid 3 stars. It did what I wanted it to do, which was to be fluffy and cute and fill in the void that Miracle Creek and The Dry left me. So very good read. I wouldn't say it's great, but if you're looking for like a good kind of like, I just need something cute to read right now, then I would say I would just pick this up. I listened on audio, I listened on double speed, and it was exactly what it was. Oh shit, I forgot to tell you what it's about. So this one follows 2 teenagers who are like, they get into like a tweet war, and through that they end up kind of falling for each other. So that's all I can say on that one. And then I read From Here to Eternity by Katelyn Dodie. She is a YouTuber. She has a channel called Ask a Mortician, where she is a mortician and she gives informational videos about death and dead bodies and how other cultures handle grieving or memorializing. So this was all about how the different cultures dealt with death and the processes that they have. And it was very interesting. I gave it, I think, a 4-star. This is definitely a book if you have like some sort of morbid curiosity going on and you want to just know about different cultures. It was really interesting. I think my favorite one, or the one I found the most interesting, it's not like there was a favorite, but the one I found most interesting was how Japan memorializes it, death. And I think you should check it out if you're at all interested in this kind of thing. And that's all I read in May. I did DNF a couple of books. I DNF'd Elevation by Stephen King. I got halfway through and I just couldn't anymore. It was poor. It was horrible. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like what I was reading, and it was bad enough that I could not sit through another 30 minutes of an audiobook to finish. It just wasn't doing it for me. And then I am hesitant to call this a DNF, but I stopped reading Stardust by Neil Gaiman. That was originally going to be the book that I wanted to, read after finishing Dry, but my Kindle was dead. I originally read the book on Kindle and I really, really loved it. It was amazing. But I've tried to pick it up on audio a couple times since then, and I don't think I can get into the audio is all it was. So there was no hate against me not finishing Stardust. It just, I didn't care for the audio. I definitely prefer to read it like with my eyes on page or on Kindle. So that's kind of what happened with that. But other than that, that's all I did in May. And I'm already like 3 books in. And it is currently the 11th of June, so I should have quite a bit to talk about for June wrap-up. I am planning another community review. I've decided I want to make this like a series, like a season by season one. So I'm planning for the first season to have about, I think it was 16 episodes. I think it might only be 10. I can't quite decide if I want to do every other week or if I want to do once a month and continue to do classic booktube videos alongside it. But I'm going to go through the end of the year, whether it's once a month or once every other week. And then as soon as we hit 2021, it'll be a like season 2, and we can maybe I'll vote on like a theme or something. I don't know. I'm still kind of piecing it together. But now that I have a format, it should be pretty interesting, and I'm very excited about it. So yeah, that's it. As a reminder, if you've made it to the end, please go ahead and check out the individuals and the links and everything else I've left in the description box. It's really important for you to do your part as well, and I think you should be doing that. So I have the information in the description box all available for you. And with that said, I will see you in the next one. Bye.